Okay, so here we are. This is for Prepared Performance 5. We're going to cover rhythmically 16th notes in compound meter, but we're at the same time going to introduce 9/8, which is triple compound meter, so 3 large beats of 3/8 notes, and then 12/8, which is compound quadruple meter, 4 large beats of 3/8 notes. And then for the melodies, we're going to cover leaps of the tritone within the dominant 7th chord, so between T and Fa and T. For the rhythm, the first full measure, we have 8th, 2/16 8th twice, so T, tiki, T, tiki, T. Then we have a syncopated pattern followed by an 8th note. So there's 3 full beats of 3/8 notes each. Just we're having 16th notes thrown in. Next measure is the same exact thing. And then the following measure, we have quarter and an eighth, and then 3/8 notes for 2 beats. And then a quarter rest and an 8th note pickup as the 3rd beat of the 9/8 measure. And we have in the next measure syncopated pattern, so 16th, 8th, and then 16th, followed by 2 more 16th notes. It's just they're all beamed together, so it looks like 3. And that happens twice, and then the reverse of it happens. So we have, you could say 2 16th notes followed by the syncopated pattern. So that's going to be tiki, tiki, ki. Tiki, tiki, ki. Next bar, very similar structure. The syncopated pattern followed by the 16th notes, so tiki, ki, tiki, and again tiki, ki, tiki. Then for the 3rd beat, we have 2 16ths, 8ths, 2 16ths. Next bar, 2 16ths and 2 8ths, followed by a quarter and an eighth. And then the 3rd beat, quarter rest, and then a pickup of 2 16th notes into the next phrase, which is the final phrase. And then here we have like a double syncopated pattern. So we have tiki, ki, ki, tiki, ki, ki. The 8th notes are in the middle. Then a single syncopation followed by the 2 16th notes. Again, tiki, ki, tiki. And then a dotted quarter, quarter rest, 8th note, and then a quarter rest. And that last part is an incomplete beat. It needs that extra 8th note at the end, and that's what is at the pickup at the beginning of the exercise. All right, so the dotted quarter is 63. Let's go ahead and perform.
T T tiki T T tiki T tiki ki T T tiki T T tiki T tiki ki T ta T T T T T tiki ki tiki tiki ki tiki 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 ki tiki ki tiki tiki ki tiki tiki T tiki tiki T T ta T tiki tiki ki ki tiki ki tiki ki tiki ta.
Okay, rhythm 2. This is now 12/8, so compound quadruple. And this does not have any 16th notes in it, but we have 4 beats of 3/8 notes. So the first full bar, I break it down into halves. We have dotted quarter and then a quarter and an eighth, dotted quarter, 8th rest, and 2 8ths. Dotted quarter, quarter eighth, dotted quarter, 8th rest, 2 8ths again. But the dynamic has changed, right? We go to piano and then to forte. Dotted quarter, 3/8 notes, 3/8 notes, quarter and an eighth. Here we have a dotted half, which takes up 2 full beats of 3/8 notes. And then the next half of the measure is a quarter and an 8th rest, followed by an 8th rest and 2 8ths. Here we have a dotted quarter and then an 8th note and a quarter note. And then a dotted quarter and then an 8th rest and 2 8th notes. Next part, dotted quarter and then an eighth and a quarter. Dotted quarter and then a quarter, 8th rest and 2 8th notes. Now we're going to forte. Dotted quarter, 8th quarter, 8th quarter, 3/8 notes. Dotted quarter, 8th quarter, quarter note, quarter, 8th rest, and then 2 8th notes. So these are all patterns that fit 3 8th note pulses in half measures. So here we have a double syncopation. So ti ta ta ti. And then a dotted quarter, 8th rest, 2 8th notes, 3/8 notes, eighth note, quarter note, and then a dotted quarter with a single eighth note at the end there, and that's because the other two eighth notes that are missing are at the beginning as the pickup. All right, now our dotted quarter beat will be 104, so let's set our metronomes and perform.
Ti-ti-ta, ta-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, ta-ti-ta. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ta, ti-ta-ta. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ta-ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ta-ta. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ta, ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ta, ti-ta-ta. Ti-ti-ti-ta, ta-ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ta-ta.
Now we get into the first part of the melodic section. And here we have in A flat major, sort of a mixed up tonic triad. Do, do, sol, mi, do. And then here we have a little dominant seventh tritone. Ti, fa. And that resolves to mi, do. And then here we have a mixed up dominant seventh. So sol, sol, fa, ti. So there's your tritone right there. So we have the octave sol. Sol, 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 fa, ti. That's your dominant seventh. Do, mi, tonic triad. Fa, sol, do. That's a little cadence. Okay, let's go ahead and sing this one.
Do, sol, mi, do, ti, fa, mi, do, sol, sol, fa, ti, do, mi, fa, sol, do.
All right, so these melodies will feature tritone leaps in the dominant seventh chord like we just practiced. First phrase, we are now in A major in the bass clef. Sol, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol. That's all scale. Right, there's really no leaps there except between sol and do. Sol, fa, mi, re, mi, do, la, re, do, ti, do. So here we have a tritone, a minor seventh leap in the dominant seventh. Sol, fa, re, mi, do. That's tonic. La, re. That's your two chord. Do, ti, do. And it ends on the one. Now, sol, sol, fa, re, mi. Sol, sol, fa, re, mi. Okay, so this one actually didn't have a tritone skip, it had a minor seventh of the dominant seventh chord. You will then do that part and go back to the beginning and do until the fine. All right, let's sing an A major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And let's do 83 beats per minute and sing this.
Sol, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol. Sol, fa, mi, do, la, re, do, ti, do. Sol, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol. Sol, fa, mi, do, la, re, do, ti, do. Sol, sol, fa, mi, sol, sol. Fa, mi, re, mi, sol, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol. Sol, fa, re, mi, do, la, re, do, ti, do.
All right, here we have another melody, and this one is in the alto clef, which we looked at the beginning. I think it was week 1. The first little idea here, by the way, we are in B minor, so 2 sharps. Sol, sol, do, ti, that's your raised leading tone. Ti, do, sol, te, there's your lowered 7th degree. Le, sol, do, fa, and then ti, do, le, sol, do, ti, do. So we do have a tritone skip in the middle there between the second blue box and the second yellow box. So Le, sol, do, fa, ti, ti, do, le, sol, do, ti, do. All right, let's sing a B minor in melodic minor form first. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And we'll set our metronome to 84 and sing.
Sol, sol, do, ti, ti, do, sol, te, le, sol, do, fa, ti, ti, do, le, sol, do, ti, do.